Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP. And yeah, I'm hanging in there, barely surviving. But one thing that is making me happy is the music that's coming out, or that has come out in 2025. And I would say that there was a period there with not much music that I liked coming out, but now some of my favorite artists have come up with their new albums or new songs. And I went to start with Florence and the Machine. Her new album is coming out in at Halloween, and it's going to be really witchy. Her song "Everybody Scream" is just, you know, I love every single one of her songs. And she's an INFP, so obviously I love her music. Um, Aurora's new album has been out for a while now, so I hope that she's coming with a new album soon, but I think that we'll have to wait at least a year for her. She actually sang for Genshin Impact, which was the crossover I did not know I needed, but it was beautiful because obviously Aurora was um, um, the moon goddess, basically. So that really fits her. So the two INFP favorite artists, came out with a new song. Now Halsey came out with the orchestral version of her Badlands. It was a 10-year record um, celebration, and her songs are just so good on orchestra. Um, and I was the Badlands fan. 2015 was the first concert that I attended on my own, or even the first concert that I attended as an adult. That I could make my own decisions. Um, and yeah, it would always be precious to me. You know, Halsey might be an ENFJ or an ISFP. Like most people, I think will think that she's an ISFP, but I'm starting to lean more towards ENFJ. I talked to my ex-INFJ friend about this like a few years ago, and he was leaning toward the ENFJ, and I think that there's a point there. But they have that SCNI thing. Certain artists have the SCNI scale, and some artists don't. And you can tell, kind of. So there is a big difference between the INFP style of art making and the ISFP style of making art. And ISFPs, they have the NI. They really do. They have the SE, the NI, and it's just. I'm not saying that they're better artists, but they're good at what they do, And I love the INFP artists, but there's something that ISFPs can just do better, ENFJs can do better. So yeah. Another ISFP is Lorde. She came out with her album Virgin, which, whew, I mean, I'm the same age as Lorde, so I relate to her in a way of like the way that she's growing up. I'm going through those same stages pretty much, except that she's living a very different life than me. So it's like somehow there's a connection between all people in my generation, I guess, but I'm not relating to her life specifically. But yeah, her songs are about favorite daughter, grown woman, GRWM, which is normally Get Ready With Me, but grown woman, where she talks about feeling like she's a grown woman, for the first time. What else? Yeah, Shapeshifter, and What Was That? What Was That is really a cathartic anger song, which I relate to. And the Shapeshifter is also really, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, that kind of like nothing really matters anymore because now I'm my own being. And that's the whole point of this whole album, because the last song, called David, is about how she's only living for herself now and not living for anybody else. She doesn't belong to anybody else. And what a way to end an album. And yeah, I relate, unfortunately, a bit much to her album and to her last song. Obviously, you know, I don't relate to Clear Blue because I've never been pregnant or had a miscarriage or any of that stuff, but I love the sound of it. Certain of Lorde's albums are more well thought, like some of them are more realistic and some of them are more like a vibe, I guess. And for her, this one is a little bit more like realistic about her own life. You know, I would say that my favorite album is obviously Melodrama. Obviously, for me, you know, but there is I like the different feels of her albums. The latest one, what was it called? With the Mood Ring and the Oceanic Feeling and all of that, had another mood entirely. And I think that she's really good at creating an aesthetic for the actual each album, you know? And this is way more urban, you know, mood. So even though I don't understand all of the lyrics and all of that, I get the mood. So I really like that. I would also say that I liked Paris Paloma is coming out with a new album, and she came out with the song Good Boy. I really like her song Labor. I really like her song Warmth, The Warmth, I think. And I'm really looking forward to her new album. It looks like it's going to be darker, a little bit more witchy once again, which I'm really up for. I like Paris Paloma. It's feminist songs, moody songs, a little bit magical songs, a little bit like Florence and the Machine in a way. But you know, it's that kind of sound that I like. I like Lorde, I like Grimes, I like, you know, but Billie Eilish, that you know, girl vibe. I don't know. Angry woman vibe. I don't know. It's this combination of different things that I like. And Hayley Williams came out with her new album, which was about Nashville, her hometown, I guess. Which, you know, I've never been to Nashville. I've never lived in the United States. But there's a sense of like, I can recognize this is really relatable to me when I go back to my hometown. And, you know, her song Kill Me is killing me. No, I mean, like, her song, yeah, is the eldest daughter syndrome once again. And yeah, I don't know. So Lorde and Hayley Williams were kind of on similar vibes at the same time. Hayley Williams, I think, is much older. I don't know, not much older, but she was in Paramore for a while. I don't know. But you know, her songs are much more like 90s vibe, and I really like how the raw emotion comes out of them. I don't know if she's an INFP. No, I think that she's an ENFP. I don't know exactly. But she doesn't have the SE and I rawness in the same way, but I really liked her songs. I liked her song Simmer. That was a while ago. I don't know when that came out. But it was the anger. And she can really make the anger emotion come out. Which, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm in kind of an emo phase. But I really like Hayley Williams. and her songs, some of them I don't understand, right? But I'm not good at understanding songs. I don't understand them. And even if I listen to them several times, sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. But I liked her songs, you know, what's it called? Everybody in this small town bar. What does she say? Oh, and then she talks about such deep emotional stuff. Parachutes was the thing that came out. That was a big one too. Yeah, I don't know. She has this depth behind this, like, 90s grunge vibe. I don't know. I love the sound of it. And she talked a True Believer is good too. And what was the last one that I really liked? Yeah, I don't know, but it's this certain feeling of like you've outgrown this place and now you're a person who can actually decide about things, but you suffered to get to where you are. And I relate to that, even though I've never been to Nashville. So I found that it, yeah, it awoke a lot of emotions in me. Oh, there was the song Mirtasapin, which I did not do well on Mirtasapin, but she is very celebratory about the Mirtasapin, which I just thought it was such a funny song. Like, it's so dark. She's like, Mirtasapin, you make me eat, you make me sleep. And it's like, yeah, that's the side effects of it. But yeah, I actually had terrible nightmares and felt like a zombie when I took Mirtasapin for 3 days. But yeah, Mirtasapin was a good song. Yeah, also Dodie is coming out with an album. She came out with a song. I really like Dodie. It's strange to see her go from this small YouTube creator into with ukulele into a big artist. But that was cool. And Dodie was one of the first to be openly singing about girls. Like Halsey was one of the first to be openly bisexual in the music industry, which yeah, it's strange to think that it was only 10 years ago, but 10 years is a long time. A lot of things have happened since then. Yeah, what else happened? I'm looking at my list because I wrote a list of all the best songs. Flume came out with a song. The Last Dinner came out, or they're coming out with an album soon. They made a song that was with a centaur, which was strange, but I kind of like it. I saw them live actually as a pre-band for Hozier, and yeah, I think that they're pretty good. I don't really connect to their music, but I like the sound. Once again, I like the sound. When I say that I like the sound, it's often that because of my auditory processing disorder, I don't understand when people talk and when people sing. And then I go and look up the lyrics, and then I don't understand the lyrics either. I don't know if it's my autistic brain just not comprehending things. I just don't get a lot of songs that a lot of people get on the first try. And so I have to look at the Genius lyrics and the explanations for a lot of these. And sometimes I don't even understand the explanations. So I know that a lot of INFPs will be like, oh, but they love lyrics. Lyrics is the most important part. For me, I think that sound is actually, the emotionality behind the sound is the most important thing for me when I'm talking about music. There are some songs where I really just like the lyrics, but in general, it's maybe there's one line in there that I like, and the verses I don't catch anything, pretty much. I like Fort Knox by Sigrid and Jellyfish. It really makes me want to dance, and I love it. I think that Sigrid is also an ISFP. I don't know. She's good at what she does too. Um, and let's see. Addison Rae came out with an album, which, you know, basically I only like Fame is a Gun for just like random reason. It's just so catchy and I love dancing to it and feeling like I'm on top of the world. So I really like Addison Rae's Fame is a Gun. She did come out with like Diet Pepsi song and stuff, and it's good. I would say that it's not my style of music though, but yeah, I think that it was good in a way. It kind of mirrors Lord's album somehow. The last, you know, everybody's out there talking about their traumas as like women. Anyway, let's see. What have I missed? Anybody? Oh, Tame Impala is coming with a new album, and they had that. They had 2 music videos. One of them was like End of Summer, and one of them was called Loser, with Joe Keery, like the guy from Stranger Things. What was the name of the guy that I played? Anyway, it looks like he's just like popped off from Stranger Things into this music video, which is weird. But like Joe Keery has a band on his own called Joe DJO. So I haven't listened to any of his music, but yeah, it's just weird to think that like he's doing a music collaboration with Tame Impala. I really like Tame Impala, but my brother is a huge fan of Tame Impala, and yeah. So I think about my brother when I'm listening to Tame Impala. It's just such easygoing music that you can have in the background, and that kind of gives a vibe to things. And so yeah, that's it. Lord Huron came out with a song, and Of Monsters and Men came out with a few songs, which really takes me back 10 years ago, you know. I really like Of Monsters and Men. You know, it was that period of time where I was listening to Woodkid, Owl Nation. Yeah, I was listening to Little Lion Man and all that. Passenger. There was this whole Milky Chance. All of these, you know, I was like, well, what happened to these people? And it's like, yeah, they've been around. They just haven't done anything, I guess, in the past year. Like, they've maybe done some song. I'm just not aware of them. So yeah, those were the songs. I don't have much more to say. I do think that there is something to the SE and I combination that creates good songs. It's just like there's this universality of the NI and the SC anchoring it in reality that, like, you know, an INFP like me, I don't think that I could ever achieve or truly understand. But I think the INFPs provide something very valuable in that space as well, which is like that ethereal, magical vibe to things. And I think that you need a bit of both, like all sorts of music, you know, there's a diversity in all these artists. And every artist is unique, right? But you can tell certain styles of, like, you know, which MBTI type the artist is. It will affect the art. And it's interesting because, in a way, I really like music that is FI based, you know, and I think that it's the emotionality in it that makes it that way. But sometimes I'm interested in TI style music, and it surprises me, you know. Like when it comes to INFJ music, or yeah, I don't know. Is there an INTP musician? I don't know. I think I would like it. I there's a certain yeah, I want to explore different kinds of music now because there was a while where I wasn't listening to music pretty much at all. Like I was only listening to some of the songs on YouTube. Um, but it's because I don't have Spotify anymore. I've gotten myself out of there because it's like the AI and the way that you can't find music unless you are a subscriber, and it's like they just made their service shittier and shittier throughout time, so that because they're greedy and want money. And also, I have a personal vendetta against Spotify because my my ISFJ best friend lived with the son of one of Spotify's higher ups in his apartment. Um, and yeah, it's a story for another day, I guess. But he, yeah, Spotify is just a big company, um, and it's a Swedish company, but it's a big company that I don't want to support anymore. I don't want to support YouTube either. It's just that it's harder because I love being on YouTube so much. So I'm trying to like scale away from all of these like, maybe I need to get into analog music. It's just I've never really gotten into that. I know that some of you guys like Carmen, you know, you older people out there are used to analog music. I've never been to a record shop and actually bought a thing. Like I'm too young. I'm too young for that kind of thing, and my parents never really got me anything like that either. Um, like in my household, we moved directly from like cassettes to it was like cassettes, certain CDs, but very few, and directly afterwards to just like streaming on the phone. So I'm thinking like, should I get off that whole streaming thing? But I'm not there yet. I have other things to think about. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Is there any music that has come out newly that you're want to recommend? Um, what do you think about the artist I talked about? Do you have any thoughts about MBTI and musical artists? I'd be I'd be interested to know, because I can't be the only one who has this vibes. Yeah. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Bye.